Hyalual.
Okay, so we will start. Today, I would like you to present to you topic how to cure aging from restoration of skin capillary network to complete dermal remodeling. So today, I want to speak about evidence-based medicine because aesthetic is very young part of medicine and there are not so huge evidence base here. So today I will try to give you some evidence information about the skin rejuvenation and other things. If you will have some questions, please write them in chat and I will answer that questions. So let's go. Well, we know that the basic mechanism of aging are inhibition of metabolic processes in skin. Can anyone hear anything? Maybe somebody have the same problems? What about sound? Everything is good? All fine. No, good. Okay. Maybe you can try to restart translation. Host writes that everything is good, so we will continue. Okay, so the basic mechanism of aging of the skin is inhibition of metabolic processes in skin. First part, second part is accumulation of free radicals, and the third part is impairment of the optimal water balance in the skin. So if you will use only products with non-cross-linking hyaluronic acid with procedural biorevitalizations, you will work only with the third part of basic mechanism, but it's not enough for all aging processes. So that's why you need to have another component in your product to have a good results. Not only hydrate the skin but also stimulate some processes, fibroblasts and others. So that's why we have the procedure. That's why we have the procedure Redermalization. It's unique procedure that proven improvement of skin quality by increasing its regeneratory potential. So what do Redermalization? Redermalization regulate cellular biochemistry processes, also restore water balance and block active free radicals. So it's very important when we speak about skin rejuvenation. Why it works? It works by unicum effect, which is called double synergic effect. It's by hyaluronic acid and succinic acid. So in one product, in product Rederm, we have two active components, hyaluronic acid and also succinic acid. We know that hyaluronic acid helps to activate anti-inflammatory cytokines and mediators, restores and maintains water balance, contributes in the synthetic of basic structural proteins, and provides mechanical support for tissues. But we know that it's not enough for skin rejuvenation. I'm sorry, I can hear from phone is terrible. Please try to connect with computer. It will be much better. Maybe your problem is because you use phone. Try to connect to our webinar with computer. And another component, unique component, is succinic acid. Succinic acid improves microcirculation and activate lymph hallux, normalize cellular energy exchange, has antioxidant effect, and also stimulate synthesis of basic structure proteins in skin. Okay, Succinic accumulation in hypoxia plays great biological importance. Succinic acid is currently understood to have signalic and substrate mechanism of action. Energotrophic effects of succinic acid are: succinic monopolizes the respiratory chain in the presence of hypoxia. It is the unicum intermediate of the Krebs cycle, maintaining electron transport and energy synthesizing function of mitochondria in the presence of hypoxia. And the next one is that the succinic chemically binds to molecular of energy metabolism enzymes, its glycolysis enzymes, and also succinic dehydrogenase, and activates them in the presence of hypoxia. So, signalic effects of succinic acid accumulate in tissues in the presence of hypoxia or ischemia. Succinic acid stabilizes hypoxia-inducible factor, HIF-1 alpha, potential preserves over than 100 genes of adaptation to hypoxia. And the next one, very important things, is that succinic acid stimulate specific succinate receptor, succinic receptor 1. So that's why it's very important component, and that's why we use this component when we use product accelerator. So research of succinic acid was began in the middle of last century, when the structure and function of mitochondria, the mechanism of biological oxidation and energy production were activity studied. Succinic is a normal, natural metabolite of mitochondria and unicum intermediate of Krebs cycle, and it contain in all cells which contain mitochondria. Succinic is a unicum substrate of Krebs cycle. In the case of adequate oxygen supply to the cells, the cycle is carried out with high intensity, and as a result, it produces 62 molecules of ATP in normoxia. It's when we have a good support with oxygen. But in condition of reduced oxygen supply of tissues, the hypoxic regulatory mechanism is blocked of oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate and transformation of the first metabolic of the Krebs cycle of activate acid, acetyl-CoA, it called. So it is known that the level of succinic in the blood plasma under conditions of oxygen definitely can increase by 10 times, as a result of which succinic is an informative marker of hypoxic and also ischemia reactions. So it's also very important for us. The sound is intermittent. Hello from Istanbul. Okay, colleagues, everything is good. Yes, I'm. Please use computer and or laptop, and it will be much better sound and video also. Try it, because when you use mobile phone, maybe you will get some problems. Try to restart with your computer or laptop. Okay. Specific succinic receptor 1 belongs to G protein receptors family called GPCR receptors. In the human genome, it is the largest group of proteins involved in signal transcription across biological membrane. These receptors family, GPCR, are currently the direct or identified target for more than 16% made drugs and the most successful receptor family for treatment human diseases. So succinic receptor 1 has been classified as a orphan receptor until a landmark study made with the succinic and citric acid inflammatories. So the specification, it was found in 2004 by a group of American scientists, and the stimulations with this receptor was more powerful when they stimulate them by succinic. So that's why it called specific succinic receptor. So when we have this, if we have this receptor in our body, in our skin, or in some else, we can say about evidence-based in skin rejuvenation process using cellular derm. It has been established that succinic receptor 1 is expressed in various cell types and tissues under physiology conditions. A node in maintaining on fraction activity of tissues, especially high levels of expression, are known in the heart, kidneys, brain, and other organs, which are very important in oxygen stimulation. But also, recent studies have shown that human mesenchymal cells, fibroblast progenitors, express also succinic receptor 1. When they are stimulated by succinic acid, they shows better results for propelling and more than effective wound training. So we have more information about succinic receptor in our body, but in skin we don't have any and not so a lot of information. So we Hyalual company made a trial. This research was performed on the basis of the Research Institute of General Pathology and Pathophysiology in Moscow. White male rats were subject to the standard cellular dose protocol. These succinic-containing products widely used to improve skin quality, anti-aging, and eliminate hyperpigmentation and prepare for traumatic aesthetic procedures. So we see that in skin we find succinic receptor on fibroblasts, on macrophages, on keratinocytes, and on hair follicles. So the presence of succinic receptor 1 on fibroblasts allows to stimulate the synthesis of collagen and hyaluronic acid, promoting rapid tissue regeneration. The presence of succinic receptor 1 on macrophages allows, we can say about the regeneration of our skin. Localization of succinic receptor 1 on keratinocytes allows the effective use of topical succinic-containing products, for example, Profidolux. And the presence of receptor in the hair follicles can improve hair growth and quality, makes it possible to treat some alopecia in our patients. So we have the three products: Xeloroderm 1.1, Xeloroderm 1.8, and Xeloroderm 2.2. This means that the concentration of hyaluronic acid, so 1.1%, 1.8%, and 2.2%. The concentration of succinic acid is the same in all products, and it is 1.6%. So, basic succinic receptor-related activity mechanisms. Accelerator in skin are stimulation of fibroblast proliferation, so it's very important for us. Also, vascular wall remodeling, another very important for us. And the last one, physiology stimulation of the production of endogen growth factors. Did you try to volume on the right side of the video? Yes, you try to do, yes, try to volume. So the results, we can see the cytobiochemical images of the tissues of the skin, of the dermis, and when we work with tissues with accelerator product, we see the proliferation of fibroblasts. We don't see it when we use only succinic acid and only hyaluronic acid. Only the accelerator product, which is contains hyaluronic acid and succinic acid, make stimulation of fibroblasts. So it's very important to know. Not only hyaluronic acid, it's not enough. That same results we see in our last trials, and we see the clinical effectivity of using Celeriderm products on fibroblast proliferation. So the conclusion is that unicum Celeriderm formula, which contain succinic acid 1.6% and hyaluronic acid, it depends of products 1.1, 1.8 or 2.2, increase collagen synthesis. It's a very important thing, and we also can say that stimulation of the proliferation of dermal fibroblasts, and as a result we have increasing collagen synthesis by fibroblasts by stimulation of succinic 1 receptor. Oh, I just match the slides. Thanks. On the top of the page in setting, try to set use. Yes, try it please to use or restart please your translation. Maybe it will be much better. So the next very important information is that the succinic acid also work with vascular wall remodeling. So it's also very important because we have some patients with problems under eyes, and it's problems with microcirculation, swelling under eyes, edema, and other moments. If we inject hyaluronic acid for these patients, unfortunately, we don't get good results. We will get worse results because hyaluronic acid will hydrate this area, and we will get more swelling. But if you use succinic acid, it will be normalized microcirculation. So it's very important trial that we know that the type of microcirculation disorder will be spastic and atonic. Spastic type is characterized by winking type of aging, and atonic type of microcirculation disorders is characterizing by deformative morphotype of aging. If we see the ultrasonic characteristic of the skin with the deformative type of aging, so the ultrasound skin picture with the deformative type of aging is characterizing by heligontomy of the skin. Researchers decrease the zone of echogeny in dermis, and the tightening of the epidermis on the presence of intraoral fluid. If we see the microcapillary stinging, so in the right corner you can see the normal structure of microcapillaries, and in the left corner you can see the destroyed of capillaries due to prolonged monostasis. So clinically we see clinical effect. There are patients with swellings, patients with paces, and another things. So also we have the patients with wrinkle type of aging, so ultrasonic characteristic of skin with wrinkle type of aging, the presence of linear structures in the epidermis, and also we have the appearance in dermis of a large number of areas with a high degree of destruction of livedoids. So it's also very bad situation. Capillary are very thin and they don't do any transport function, so they didn't work here. If we see the ultrasonic characteristic of patient of mixed type of aging, in that patient we see the some parts of the swelling and some parts of the microspasm of microvessels. Also, we see this characteristic when we speak about microcapillaries of these patients. So, the clinical affinity, it's also very good trial. Then we can see that when we use Xeloriderm, intradermal using of product Xeloriderm, sodium succinic was accompanied by increased microvessel density. So we get very good results of our microcirculation in dermis. So we don't get these results when we use hyaluronic acid product, and we don't have the same results when we use only succinic acid. Only with using of product Xeloriderm, which contains hyaluronic acid and succinic acid. Okay, sounds comes and go, no voice. So the conclusion. Unicum Xeloriderm formula improves microcirculation and metabolic processes in skin cells. So it's also very important. No more products don't work with microcirculation. Only the product Xeloriderm work with this problem, and there are a lot of patients with microcirculation problems. So we must use Xeloriderm, for example, 1.1 in the orbital area to work with the microcirculation problems, and it shows very good results. The next one, very important things. I have a clear sound and voice here. Oh, very nice. See, maybe who have some problems, try to restart your translation, I don't know. So the activation of macrophages by bacterial antigens and interferon gamma has been proved to cause inflammation of pro-inflammatory cytokines from macrophage M1, as we see in the upper part of our pictures. These macrophage M1 product pro-inflammatory cytokines, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, and other ones. So it is chronic inflammatory processes. It will stimulate more aging of our skin, if I can say it. So we need to work with this microfag type 1. When we use Acceleraderm product, we stimulate anti-inflammatory cytokines, and our macrophage M1 will reprogram and become macrophage M2. So it is very important, and with this process we will stimulate our growth factors. What kind of growth factors? The fibroblasts growth factor, vascular growth factor, and tissues growth factor, endogenetic growth factors. It's very important thing. We know that to get skin reparation, we need to stimulate growth factors. But what kind of growth factors? Only endogenic growth factors, because it's safety to work with this kind of growth factors. Okay, the stimulation of the products of the production of endogenous growth factors by Acceleraderm, you can see on these pictures. You see when you use Acceleraderm products, you have a good and safety growth factor stimulation, and it's very important. You can see only when you use hyaluronic acid what kind of stimulation you get. It's not enough. And when you use the product of Acceleraderm, which consists of succinic acid and also hyaluronic acid. So, conclusions. Dermal remodeling Acceleraderm effects on the synthesis of growth factors. As we speak, that macrophage M1, it's product pro-inflammatory cytokines, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, and when we use Acceleraderm product, we reprogram this macrophage M1, and it become macrophage M2, and it product growth factors, fibroblast growth factors, vascular and growth factor, and tissue growth factor. In Chrome, all is good. Yes, please try to use Chrome browser. It will be maybe better. So the conclusion that the Unicum product Acceleraderm, which consists of succinic acid in concentration 1.6% and hyaluronic acid with concentration 1.1, 1.8, and 2.2. It depends on product. Helps with revascularization, regeneration, reconstruction, and protection of our skin from aging. So also it's unique product because we work with proliferation of fibroblasts, with vascularization, and also we can stimulate growth factor. Okay, let's go. And here you can see the safety of Acceleraderm concentration and the risk of developing education and withdrawal symptom is minimal. You see the green one is, blue one is Acceleraderm, and we see on the 15th day stimulation goes down, and we don't get the some developing education and withdrawal syndrome. So it's also very important. We can speak about the safety stimulation our skin with Hyalual with product Acceleraderm. So here are the resume of our today's presentations, and you can see that the increased fibroblast proliferation, which significantly increase the regenerative potential of our tissues. So it's also very important using Acceleradan product. Also, you can normalize microcirculation, which allows them especially to work with patients with various morphotypes of aging. So you also can work with patients which has swellings, edema. It's very difficult patients. When you will work only with hyaluronic acid, you will get problems with that patients. But when you will use Acceleradan, you will get very good and great results. You will cure the swellings and edema with these products because Acceleradan normalize microcirculation. Also work with these products, you can increase the density of vascularity, which makes it possible to quickly rehabilitation patients. You can use it when you use for preparation of some traumatic procedures or surgery. For example, when I do blepharoplasty or facelift, every of my patients get preparation by Acceleradan 1.1, and I get very good result and very quick, very short rehabilitation. So also it's very important. And also we work we stimulate macrophage, and they product growth factors of fibroblasts, growth factors of vessel growth factor, and growth factor of tissues. So it's also very important. Today I would like to present you today I would like to present you one very interesting technique, lifting technique. Today we will don't speak about surgical lifting because only surgical lifting is real lifting. But when I do some surgery, for example, facelift, I can lift mass, I can lift muscles, but I couldn't do something with the skin. So, but it's also very important. So we need to work with skin. Today we will speak how to do it, and you will show one very interesting technique. Okay, we know that we have retaining ligaments. What is it, retaining ligaments? Retaining ligament is very interesting structures, very strong structures, which begin from periosteum and ending in the border of dermis and hypodermis. The main retaining ligaments that we are interested in, there are zygomatic ligament, perioticutaneous ligament, or Lor's fascia, a mandibular ligament, retaining ligament, and mesenteric cutaneous ligament. That's kind of retaining ligaments make lifting of our middle and lower part of the face. As you can see, really they are beginning from periosteum and ending in the skin, in the border of dermis and hypodermis. So it's very easy to say that they are similar like a tree, yes, because this place where they are beginning beginning from the periosteum, it's very strong part of the retaining ligament, and this part of retaining ligaments don't change all our life, but the terminal part of retaining ligament, it is called retinaculum cutis. You see it on these pictures. It's ending in the border of dermis and hypodermis. hypoderm. So it's not so strong like part which is begin from periosteum, and this part will change in our life when we get aging processes in our skin. So we need to stimulate collagen in this part of the tendon ligaments, and we will get lifting effect. How to do it? Very easy to do it. It's very easy when you use Acceleraderm product, because we know that using of Acceleraderm product will stimulate fibroblasts to produce new collagen. We need it in these parts of our face, because these parts they are it is the projection of main retaining ligaments, that of main terminal parts of retaining ligaments, which are called retinaculum cutis, as I said before it. So we must do papular injection. In the level of our injection must be dermis, and we must inject 5 points. This is the projection of the retinaculum cutis, retaining ligaments. The first point, it will be the middle part of the zygomaticus arch. The second point, it will be the middle part of nasolabial fold. The third point, it will be the mandibular notch. The next point, it will be the angle of mandibula. And the last point, it will be the point near the tragus of the ear. So all these points we inject with needle, we inject in the dermis. It's very important. If we will inject deeper, in fact, we don't get stimulation, because the retinaculum cutis are situated in the border of dermis and hypodermis. So we need to, all times we need to do only this level of injection. After that, we make lines also with needle, with linear retrograde technique, and we combine all our points. After that, we make the middle point and makes also lines from the periphery points to the center. Very easy technique, very interesting technique. This technique works only with using Acceleraderm 2.2 product, 2 milliliters, 2 cc of this product. This technique called diamond technique. You will get results after procedure, but it will be only 10 or 15% of your final result. Final result you will get after 2 weeks after procedure, because 2 weeks is the period of stimulation, of collagen stimulation. You need to do 3 sessions of this procedure. The breaks between sessions must be 2 or 3 weeks. 3 sessions, if you do 3 sessions for your patients, you will get very good result for 1 year. Now, here are my contacts. You can add me on Instagram and Facebook, and I will answer your questions. And now I would like to present you a video demonstration of this technique. And after that, I will answer your questions. Okay? So we will start our demonstration. So Rederm 2.2. If I inject deep, what happens? I will answer after the video demonstration. Okay. So we clean the skin of our patient. After that, we put topical anesthesia. Topical anesthesia because we will work with the needle, and it's painful procedure, yes. So we, after 20 minutes of our topical anesthesia, we clean it and we make the scheme of our technique. 5 points, middle part of the zygomaticus arch, middle part of nasolabial fold, mandibular notch, angle of mandibula, and the point near the ear tragus. After that, we make the middle point and make lines which contains all our points. Can you use cannula? With cannula, unfortunately, you don't will be in dermis. You will be in the fat or deeper because it's very difficult to work with cannula in dermis. So in this technique, I prefer to use not cannula but needle. So I make the points 0.05 or 0.1 for each point, for each bolus, for each papilla. 0.1 or 0.05. When you will start to work with this technique, it will be better to use 0.05 papilla because it's very difficult to, because you need to work with one syringe, 2 cc of product. On one side 1 cc, 1 milliliter, and on the next side also 1 cc. So first times you need to see how much product you inject. Can you use cannula? No. No cannula. Which concentration you use? I use concentration 2.2. And you can see that I make linear injections. I see the concentration of my product. It means that I am on the right level of injection. I am in dermis, and it means that I really work with the retaining ligaments. I stimulate proliferation of fibroblasts in that area, and I will get really good lifting effect. Any downtime, you will have some rehabilitation because it's traumatic technique. You work with needle, but not so long. How often must be used? Okay, you today, for example, you do first sessions. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you do second session, the same one, and after that, after 2 weeks, you do the last sessions. You need to do 3 sessions of this procedure, and you will get really good and long result. Maybe for 1 year I have result. What about using blind cannula? It's very difficult to be in dermis when you are using cannula. When you will use cannula, you will don't be in dermis, and it will be not so good for stimulation fibroblast because we don't have the receptor in fat, and it's kind of I can't say that you will get a good result. It's cross-linking. It's not cross-linking. High molecular weight hyaluronic acid, and the second ingredient is the succinic acid. With only hyaluronic acid, if you will use only hyaluronic acid products, you will don't get any result because hyaluronic acid don't stimulate fibroblast proliferation. You will get only hydration. Real lifting effect you will get only when you will using Rederm product, which contains not only hyaluronic acid but also succinic acid, which is really stimulate fibroblasts to produce new collagen. Show us point of injection point of diagram, please. This amazing technique. Yes, it's very interesting technique. After ending of this video, I will show you all points on the diagram. Sure. Yes, non-cross-link it also includes succinic acid. Downtime, it depends on the patient, but immediately it is maybe a few days. The continuation of, you see the continuation of products, it's good because I work in dermis, and it will be maybe 1 or 2 days. Some hematomas, as you do, maybe also in a few days disappear. 2 milliliter for one side, no, 2 milliliter for both sides. 1 milliliter on one side and 1 milliliter on the next side. What is the anatomical landmark for the middle point? For the middle point, we don't have any anatomical landmark. It is the middle part of our diamond, because technique called diamond. And in all patients, after the procedure, I use a raw mask for good post-procedural skincare, and also topical. I use Profi Deluxe for get a short rehabilitation period. So first results, as you see, she is very happy, and the first results we get after procedure, because we stimulate very important anatomical points. You see the result. It's only 10% of result that we will get after 2 weeks, but we see the lifting of the middle part of the zygomaticus area. You see the nasolabial fold lifting, and also lifting of the mandibular. So raw mask, the patient take that result of time. What is the anatomical? So the middle part, it will be the middle point. It will be the middle part of our diamond, and in a lot of patients there are the zone of depressions here. Of aging, if we speak about aging processes. So it will be the zone of depression. Raw mask, as I see corner of the diamond injection deep like 4 millimeters and linear use like 2 millimeters. I use only one needle. Do the patients need to repeat the session? Yes, the patient need to repeat these sessions after 2 weeks. And after that, also, you must do 3rd sessions. The mask have the flash effect and the effect of skin recovery after procedure. So it's very important to use it. Okay, I will show you the diagram one more for best understanding. Okay, one moment please. Here is a diagram and I will repeat. I will repeat it. Okay, the first hour point, it will be the middle part of the zygomaticus arch. The next point, it will be the middle part of nasolabial fold. The next point, if you will palpate the mandibular in this area, you will feel a mandibular notch. So it will be your third point. The next point, it will be the angle of mandibula. And the last point, it will be the 1 centimeter near the tragus of the ear. No diagram. No diagram. You don't see the picture? You don't see the pictures on the... No. Okay, yes, yes. Now appear, okay. Oh, now you see it, yes? Okay, I will repeat. I will repeat. The first point, it is the middle part of the zygomaticus arch. You see it. The next point, it will be the middle part of nasolabial fold. You see it here. The next point, it will be the notch of mandibula. If you will put here a finger, you will feel it. So it will be your third point. The next point, it will be the angle of the mandibula. And the next point, it will be the last point, it will be the tragus of the ear. After that, it's 5 points, and you must make papilla, deep dermal papillars. 0.1 of products for all papilla. After that, you make the last point, last papilla in the middle. Here you can see it is lower than the zygomaticus arch, and you will see the zone of little bit depression. So it will be your last point. After that, also with needle, but using linear retrograde technique, you need to make lines and make in linear retrograde technique, make lines, and after that you need to make lines from all points to the center. Is the diamond technique works only with 2.2? Yes, diamond technique works with only this product. Sorry, I didn't follow your answer. How long the lifting effect will last in one session, which we can see in patient can feel. Okay, now with one session, you also will get a lifting effect, but this lifting effect will be not so long, maybe for a few months, for 2 months. If you will do 3 sessions with a breaks between these sessions of 2 or 3 weeks, you will get results for 1 year, or 10 or 12 months. So that's why you need to do 3 sessions to get longer results. Can be inject for hands? You can inject for hand 2.2, but on hands, on what part of hands? I don't know, because in sometimes you need only hydration on your hands. Yes, agreed, but not I. For hands you can inject for volume, for hydration this skin. Also it's very good product. But when we speak about hyperpigmentation on the hands, it it is better to use 1.1. If you need to get volume and hydration, it's better to use 2.2 because you get a boost lift effect. Yes. What about points of injection in neck? You also can inject the neck with this technique. You will also get a good result, but it will be maybe our next topic to speak, because it's very I don't have a lot of time to speak about neck. In classical popular technique, or in classical linear technique with 1.8, you can inject the skin of the neck. You will get also good result. You can inject 2.2 in hands, but not in diamond technique. Yes, you can inject 2.2 in hands, but not in diamond technique. You can use cannula for hands. Yes, it will be good. But I like cannula so much. When I use fillers, when I use fillers, I work only with cannula. But when I work with skin, in all times, I need to be in dermis. If you work with cannula, it's very difficult to be in dermis. You must make papilla or linea in dermis for be here. You must see your linea. When you will use cannula, probably you will be in subcutaneous fat, so it doesn't work here. Hyalual product. This. Wait. What is the difference if to compare with filler? Filler, you can accelerate them. 3 reparations is enough. Yes, 3 procedures it will be enough. Accelerator can be used with the cannula. You can use it with cannula, but I prefer to use with a needle. Injection under eyes. Under eyes, you don't use 2.2. It's danger. You can get swelling. Under eyes, you need to use 1.1. Right. It's possible to debut the product with other materials, for example, fillers. No, it's not good, because with fillers you don't get the stimulation result. In filler, you have only hyaluronic acid, cross-linking hyaluronic acid. You will get contouration. It will be not good for the patient, and you don't get lifting effect. It is possible. Okay. In first session, usually in very sensitive skin, the blood is. What about the second session? I don't understand your question. In first session, usually in very sensitive. Okay. You can use it, because also you can use it with the patient with sensitive skin. It's good. Succinic acid work with a sensitive skin, so you don't get a problem, and you will get lifting effect, and you will treat sensitive skin. But first of all, it will be better to work with sensitive skin with Hyalual 1.1. It will be better. We will get a normalized microcirculation. Can we mix with the mesotherapy? You can mix, but what about mesotherapy? All that you need, you have in these products. You can get fibroblast stimulation, microcirculation stimulation, growth factors production. So all effects you have in this product. Does it mean we can use the diamond technique with 2.2 and 1.1 under eye? 1.1 under eye, you will use micropapillar technique, classical micropapillar technique. When we can use electro. Electro for sensitive skin, it's very good for young patients, like first injection. Also, it is good for dark circles, Also, it's very good for sensitive skin and so on and so forth. It's a very good product. I like it. Can you advise if it can be injected after the laser treatment? Yes, sure. It is good preparation in classical technique, classical popular technique. Accelerator using is very good for preparation for laser treatment. But if you want to get lifting, yes, also you can make laser treatment CO2. After 2 or 3 weeks, you do this technique and you will get also good lifting. Can be injected under eye for fine lines. These products 2.2, you don't inject under eye because it's very dangerous, because 2.2% of hyaluronic acid, 22 milligrams of hyaluronic acid. It's not good to inject under eye. So you can inject under eye another products, Hyalual 1.1 or Electric, for example. Can we use with Q-Gold or Dermapen? Yes, you can use it also with these techniques 2 weeks before this procedure that you want, Dermapen or another one. Can Electric produce the same lifting effect? No, Electric don't show the same results. The most strong and most powerful result you can get only if you speak about lifting, you will get only with 2.2, only 2.2. Do you have long-term results to share with us after seconds? I have the results, and I can send you. Add me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will send you photo of my patient. Really, there is a problem about voice. What about injection in upper face? Any special techniques? Also, I have techniques. We have techniques to also lifting upper face. Maybe it will be our next topic to meet in the next webinars, I think. It is work with acne scars. Yes, sure, it's work with acne scars. 2.2 is very good product to work with post-acne scars. First of all, in one session, you need to do subcision with the needle. And after that, you will use Hyalual 2.2, inject in all levels of your post-acne scar. So you will have boost up effect by hyaluronic acid, and you will get stimulation of all processes in this area by succinic acid. Dear doctor from Malaysia, if you have missed the part of the presentation, yes, your manager will send you this presentation. You will get the recording of today's webinar on your email. When is the next one? Very good suggestion. Will the diamond technique help for pigmentation? No, diamond technique is only technique for lifting, for stimulation of collagen production in the areas of retaining ligament. If we speak about hyperpigmentation or another things, we don't use this technique. We will use another products. It's very important. I'm sorry. Have you done it for the forehead? For the forehead, I do. It will be another technique. Can we watch the technique video again? If we do the laps all over the face, it's glottis. Yes. Dear colleagues, you will get the record of our today's webinar with a video demonstration also on your mail. So you can see this webinar in a few days. Is there any video to share about the webinar presentation? I could see. Fortunately, no. Maybe you have any questions about our today's presentation. Which technique can we use for treatment of telangiectasia? I think classical micropapillar technique with Hyalual 1.1, or if you have in your country electric, also you can start to work with electric. Thank you so much for your today's attention. It was very good to work with you. I'm very glad for all your questions. I'm very happy for all your questions, and I wish you best results. I wish you safety results, and these results you will get with using of Hyalual product of Accelerator. So all of you will get this video record of this webinar on your email, and I hope that we will to see you for a few days, maybe with some another topics. Here are my contacts, so you can add me, and you can ask me some questions if you want. But thank you a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all.